Hey guys, back to tell you about Surfshark, the VPN service that you should use. Guys, you need a VPN, plus it opens up a big library of the streaming services that we all watch together. Joe, why did we choose Surfshark over all these other VPNs out there?
Because you can use this on unlimited devices, share with your friends and family.
And you got a 30-day money-back guarantee. It's just over $2 a month. You can't beat it.
There's one thing you need for the internet. It's a VPN. Check it out. And we got a deal for you. 83% off a 2-year plan. Plus, you're going to get 3 months free. I think that works out to only like $2.21 a month. Try it out. See if it's for you guys. And I hope you enjoy. Check it out. Hey guys, we just got back from the theaters where we saw SISU, which is the Finnish historical action film. We saw a trailer for it while we went to the movies, and it said from like the producers of John Wick. So we thought it would be like, oh, it's like, you know, John Wick, World War II, beating up some Nazis. And so we went out to go see it. It was kind of hard to find in our area. We had to drive to a different theater we never go to. So I don't know if that's going to be similar to where you're at. But look it up, because I highly recommend that you go out and see this film. If you're a fan of spaghetti westerns like I am, like really good ones, like, you know, for a few dollars more, Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. It's got kind of that spaghetti western feel. And then like Rambo, it's like mixing Rambo First Blood, the super bloody kind of war film, and then, you know, with the spaghetti western, and then maybe sprinkle in some Viking flavor and the music and just the brutality of a good, very, very simple story. This is super simple. But just because the story is simple doesn't mean it's bad. It's in fact, when a simple story is told really well, you have an excellent film. And I think this is an excellent film. It had only a budget of $6 million, and it's essentially about it's in the Finnish Lapland during World War II, and it follows an old gold prospector who manages to secure past, and he hits some gold, and then kind of runs into a Nazi death squad, and then the action begins, and it is glorious. He is basically almost like an unstoppable force, worth the price of admission.
Yep.
We kick it on over to one of you guys.
This is an amazing film. You have to go out and see this one if you can find it in your local theater. I love the action on this. I love how creative he was with his kills, like kind of like throwing a mine on somebody's face, and you see all the gore. It was an amazing film to watch. A man of few words to the very end, but his emotions was well captured.
Yeah, it's a super fun action movie, and like you got to be. I think it's important for people to understand like the context of this film, because I actually don't think that their advertisement did a very good job. This is a tall tale, bigger than life situation, and if you're in the mood for that, I think you're gonna be incredibly satisfied. Come in there, have a beer or two, like set up your suspension of disbelief. This is supposed to be. Spaghetti western is a great comparison, because there's like. If you're like, well, the bad guys could have killed him, and it's like, well, yeah, but then that's not that kind of movie. Like, this is not supposed to be like a super serious thing.
I was actually on board for almost all of it except for one. We'll talk about it at the end, but because everything else was done so well,
you're
that
like,
one choice where I'm like, wait a minute, I don't know about that one, but I will forgive it because it was so good. You're going.
Yeah, and so I think I know what you're talking about. And there's a couple times where I'm like, come on, I'm liking this movie. Like, this is stupid. I mean, I'm with you guys. Like, let's do this. But that was stupid, right?
Yeah. A little too much.
But yeah, I had a great time with it. And I definitely think if you want to watch a really fun action movie and you're a fan of like the John Wick style thing, check this one out.
Yeah, if you like Inglourious Bastards, that kind of film. But this one is the reverse of Inglourious Bastards, where Quentin Tarantino usually is very talky, very mouthy. and feet. This one has no feet.
And no talking.
blown up
Kind of.
feet.
You see it like in the air.
Spinning in the air.
That's the Tarantino moment.
No
Yeah.
talking, basically. I fucking love that our protagonist is essentially a silent protagonist. We'll talk a little bit more about that later. But if you're wondering, Sisu is the Finnish word that cannot really be translated.
But try.
But if you try, then it's basically this gumption, this refusal to quit, this digging down, and yeah. And that's exactly what we get here. And the film just constantly delivers, and it constantly does a Sisu. Because he finds ways to sort of keep going and basically deliver us all the goodness and engage. Because I was engaged the whole way.
Same.
Never bored moment. I really love the director's style, the colors, the music, the acting. I'm not familiar with this particular actor, but he did a great job.
He did.
Jorma Tomila as Corpy, I guess he's known, and you know, it all worked out, and there's just it's just solid, man. It's good to see that there are great simple action films that still work. This is one that I actually want to buy the DVD. I'm sorry, Blu-ray or CD.
I'm gonna get the
The
laser
VHS.
disc.
Laser disc or VHS. But no, I actually really like this one. So if I see it on VOD, I would buy it instead of renting it. So.
Yeah, this is something that I think this is an important thing to look at because this is you said $6 million budget.
Yep.
Super low budget. This
Super low
movie absolutely works. You do not have to be spending $200 million to make
But it
these
doesn't
movies.
look like $6 million. It looks like $28 million.
It looks like a good movie, but like Hollywood has been bitching. We're like, well, we don't have the rental money anymore. We can't sell VHS. We can't sell DVDs. We can't do any of that stuff anymore. It's like, well, maybe you should trim your fucking budget back. You do not have to pay The Rock and Ryan Reynolds $100 million to do the Red Notice. And so what you can do is you can pare it back. You can have actors actually acting, and everything can work out really beautifully. So your
make
industry,
10 of these films for the one actor.
Yeah, and so like the movies can still absolutely work. You just have to maybe not pay The Rock so much goddamn money.
And when we went there wasn't a lot of people in the theater because like shit. I even went to Rotten Tomatoes website. I couldn't even find Sisu. You had to type it in. That's not like nobody knows that it's out, and only the people I were looking are like these are cinephiles. You know, these are the people that know about the movie. So now you know it is fucking tight, simple, brutal, a great sort of action revenge kind of. There's a little bit of revenge element in here. And if you like spaghetti westerns, if you like the Rambo kind of stuff, and even the director here has said that one of his inspiration was First Blood, but I'd say it's probably more like, what is it, the fifth film where he's using
Rambo?
the gun?
Is it just
Yeah, I think it's
Rambo?
just Rambo, right? That one. And so yeah, I had a lot of fun with it, and yeah, so
Final verdicts?
let's go. Let's just jump right into final verdicts. Make it short.
9.
Yes,
It's gonna be a
sir.
9 for me. This was an
All
amazing
right.
film. I was entertained throughout the whole thing. In the middle, there was no like drag or anything. I was like, can we move this forward? I was like, oh, how is he gonna get out of this?
Yeah.
I was like, that's pretty fucking brutal.
cool.
I loved it. Great.
Yeah.
And his emotions whenever like he's about to die, like well,
Yeah, I know.
this
I
guy
just-
is
constantly
unkillable.
about to
He's
die.
constantly about to die.
Yeah, because
You
he's
see his
fighting a
face is like-
fucking company of
Yeah.
Nazis.
Yeah,
Like,
they're
The
all
whole company's got a tank. They got a fucking machine gun. They got everything. And
entire
it's like,
time-
how is he gonna do all this?
Exactly. The entire time watching, I was like, no, there's no way he's
There's
going to
no
get out
way.
of this. That was pretty
That's pretty
creative.
cool.
All right, I'll give it that.
Yeah.
So, enjoy it.
Yeah, I'm for the most part agreeing. I think I'm between an 8 or a 9. I really like this movie. I think I'm gonna go with a 9. And it's because I love this style.
Yes.
I've been watching all the spaghetti westerns in the last
Yes.
year, all of them, and this really fits that. There are some sloppiness in the director, like the way that they shot certain things. That this is supposed to be tall tale, unbelievable, but there's some times where it's just like, come on, dude. Like, even for because they establish the world and they're like, cool, this is bigger than that. I was like, oh, excellent. I'm with you.
I'm with it.
And then
Yeah.
they do something that's way the fuck above.
And they didn't have to. We'll talk about it in
Yeah.
spoilers. They could have omitted a scene Or actually, there's two.
Yeah.
There's two moments. You could have omitted the scene to fix one of them. The other one, you just can't fix.
Yeah, there's a couple things in there that it's just like if you had reined
But
that
it's
in a little bit.
totally forgivable.
We're splitting hairs because I really like this movie. I think you should check it out. Yeah, go see Sisu.
Yeah, if you like over-the-top kills, killing Nazis, and it's shitty fucking, people getting their up-and-comings, and just a really well-shot action and quiet performance. It really kind of lets the emotions of the actors kind of do the talking for you. Beautiful vistas out there in Finland. And yeah, this is just great. I highly recommend you see it. You might have to go to one of those smaller little, theaters, specialist theaters, because it was hard for us to find even over here in Austin. So hopefully you can find it. Don't forget it. Or when it comes out on VOD, you can buy it. If it's that $6.99 rental or $9.99, that happens all the time. I'm like, God damn it. This one I can guarantee you'll be fine buying it. So yeah, I am also going to give it a 9 out of 10. I probably would have been a 10 out of 10 if we didn't go, a little bit too far in certain places. But we'll talk about that in the quick spoilers. But please watch this film before you watch our spoiler section. So, just wait. Okay, well, thank you very much. Go out and see Sisu. Tell others about Sisu because it's one of those fucking old school action flicks. You go out, have beers with your buds. It's great. So let's go into the spoilers. Hey guys, welcome to the spoiler section. So they do such a good job with how legendary this guy is, right? I believe that he's rough and tough. Motherfucker goes out in the middle of nowhere. I was like, how does he have enough food to do this gold prospecting? He's digging holes. I'm like, this is a fucking hardy man. You want this guy to be your husband if you're going to shack down your woman out there. But turns out that he does find gold, and it's this moment where, and the acting is great when you find gold. It's not over the top. You feel it. You're like, oh shit, we fucking found gold. He's like crying. And so he gets the gold and goes back. But as he's pushed back into the fucking life by the goddamn Nazis who were fucking with him and about to kill him and take his gold, his legend was already there. Apparently, he has like 300 kills. And I was worried that they would be like, Finland never allied with the Nazis, and they were never on the German side. It's like, yeah, well, they were on the German side. And they show in this particular instance, he must have been working for, I think, the Germans fighting the Russians, because he's got over 300 Russian kills. Now, the film starts with this really cool, like, World War II documentary map kind of thing, real cool visuals where Finland, it's getting later in the war. They realize, okay, well, Germany's going to lose, so I'm going to switch sides. And they have that accord with Russia, or they have that alliance to kick out the Nazis. And the Nazis are just going scorched earth. They're like, fuck this place. And so that's why they're butchering entire fucking towns. They're lighting shit on fire. They're raping women. They even take the women with them to as trophies and shit, and continual rape. And it's just wild. But so he has this legend, and the Nazi soldiers, it kind of spreads amongst them. They get a little scared of him. But the two moments for me, well, let me kick it to one of you guys. What was the moment, Joe, for you? You were like, okay, there's two for you.
The small one when he was running away and the guy was in the gun turret, like he's shooting him in the back with that caliber.
Oh no, that's not one for me.
That was just one. I was like, it's blowing everything up. It was blowing everything apart. It's like that would
anything having to do with here's what I set my expectations, right? Because it's like all right, what do we forgive for John Wick? I'm at least willing to give you John Wick.
That was
that's why any misses that happen from machine guns where he's at least 100 meters away, I can forgive that. And so body hits because he uses a dead German in order to take some body hits. No, Joe. Okay, fine. But I can forgive that one.
That's
the small one.
The
So
other
there are
one-
lots of things like this because he's literally one man against a motherfucking tank, a troop transport, a squad of Nazis, a supply truck, and a MG-42 fucking motorcycle crew. So there's gonna be ones, but 2 broke the back.
Well,
Let's go, go, Alex. You got your one, Joe.
But that was just. I said I had 2.
Okay, what's your
what's
second one?
Second one was he was hanging.
Joe, what the?
Oh, yeah, that one's a little rough too.
Okay, that was
He was
okay,
hanging
fine.
there for like 5 minutes.
But how cute.
They were watching him.
My 2. Okay, well then.
They were watching him.
In Joe's mind, there should be 4 because I thought Joe was my 2. I bet you we're on the same one.
Maybe because my first one is actually a little bit different. So my first one is he had just he meets a small troop. They try to take his gold, and he violently and really amazingly murders their ass.
Yeah.
And then the big company, like, they hear gunshots and they go to like investigate what was going on. And they let this old man pack gold away, like, in a massive amount of gold away, and he's just like putting rocks in there. And they're like, "No, don't kill him. We'll kill him in
I thought
10 minutes."
Alex, no, god damn it. That was so machismo. That's like, yeah, like I have my entire company here. You just killed 4 of my soldiers.
7.
And you're picking 7 soldiers and you're picking up gold. I'm going to let you pick up all my gold back into the bag, then shoot him. That's completely, god damn it, Alex. But what's your second one? Because I got you.
The plane one's dumb. The plane is like
Thank you.
universally
There
stupid.
you go.
The thing is, like, they don't have guns on him or anything. Like, no, he's super violent, and then he just,
Because they're in disbelief. They're like, "This is an old man. We got him. Everybody's here, so they about to shoot him." And the corporal goes, "No, let him finish. Let him
Yeah.
cook." And then he gets all the gold in the bag for him. Then he gets out of that. How does he get out of that? Because
he had palmed a rock, and then
he grabbed a rock at the last minute.
there's a landmine between him and then the bad guys. And so as he fills his gold and he throws the bag over there, he quickly throws a rock.
It
And then,
explodes and creates smoke.
Smoke.
Then he does it with multiple ones so that there's a shield. And then the Germans just go, "Fire!" And so all the Germans fire. And he had picked up a shield, so he does a little
it's
Wonder
gold,
Woman.
his panning.
Oh,
thing.
that's right. He's go pan. But he manages to, and we even forgive that. It's
I
just
forgive
like
that. There's no problem.
He disappears into this mist, and it's
got hit
great.
in his leg,
And this
so.
is this is one of the best scenes in the film. And then the German officer's like, "All right, you go after him," and it's a minefield. And so then you go in there, motherfucker, doesn't explode, or no, he does. The first one does explode, and then he's like, "Okay, you 2 go," and then
Well, the first one I like because like the first one he's walking, he's fine, and he just looks up, a mine's just coming straight for his
That was
face.
so
He
cool.
frisbees a landmine into his face. It was so sweet.
So you're thinking, and they do such a good job with the foot and the sounds of
Yeah.
the boots on the ground. It's like, what would you walk like really if you were a soldier? And someone makes it, and then it comes from the sky.
Yeah.
It's great. And then he keeps sending soldiers, and they keep blowing up, and blah blah blah. Eventually, so that wasn't mine. Here's where mine broke. The one everybody's going to agree on, even those of you who have returned after you've seen it, you're not here unless you've seen it, is he goes, finally beats the boss. Actually, the main boss is taking off with his gold in a plane. He met up with his flight officer in his tank. It was only his tank driver and him that made it out after all the carnage. He shoots his tank commander, tank driver in the head, and then so he can have all the gold for himself and then the pilot. So it's a little ridiculous, but I think at this point we have forgiven everything.
Yeah.
So he uses his motherfucking pickaxe to hook onto the plane. He's flying up there. I'm like, the motherfucker like doing a Tom Cruise, right? And then he hacks his way into the plane. Now,
It's super dumb. It's super dumb.
ridiculous.
He
but
kind of
You didn't need to show that. What I'm
Gets it
saying is
again.
you didn't need to show that. What you could have just done is, he does the axe and then it cuts because that's what it does for the plane inside. And they're like, what is that? And then you could just hear a bunch of fucking noise, right? And then he's like, go back there and check. And then he's like, fine, I'll go back there and check. and then he's in the plane. We don't need to actually see the CGI where he's like hanging on by a fucking, axe thing. I'm like, all right, that's a little much there. But, so I was like, fuck, they didn't need to do that. And then the second one is the fact that the plane itself, after he beats the main boss in a fisticuffs battle, and the pilot had already been shot because when he drove up in his motorcycle to latch onto it, he fired his machine gun. And it caught the pilot, and so he passes away. And then the plane is going down, and so he looks for a fucking parachute.
It's not gently going down, by the way. It's going from 20,000 feet straight to the earth in a straight line down.
And here's the thing. Here's the thing. It slams in the ground, big fucking dirt kicked up into the air. And then I'm looking for pieces of the wreckage or something. It's not there. The plane was pulverized into atoms. It evaporated. The plane there's not a single there's not a tailpiece, there's not a wing, and yet
it sank in the swamp.
Somehow, probably, and yet somehow he comes up from the mud and the muck, and he's completely fine, other than his original wound.
Yeah, I would have rather him like find a parachute, just
find a parachute. That's all I wanted.
It doesn't even have to work.
And then the parachute is ripped, and then bam, he slams in the ground
or a
really
tree
hard.
or something and falls away down. Like, you can still make it where he gets fucked up, but like,
this is what the difference for me and why Alex was considering an 8 and why I didn't go to a 10 because of these small that pushed it a little too far. And I think the director is like, I know this is going to push people's buttons, but I want a little over the top. And it's like, but you've been going over the top the whole time.
Yeah. We are so far beyond over the top.
He was dead hanging for 5 minutes.
Pulverized. No, Alex told me that he was supporting himself.
Before.
What happens is they hang him and then they watch him.
At one point they hang him.
And so he's sitting there for like 4 minutes. The excuse is we've established in the world building that he can hold his breath for a really, really, really fucking long time.
Oh, he's sucking some guys off.
Well, yeah, that was actually that scene was really brutal as shit.
It was
so creative. So at some point they keep catching up to him because they have a motherfucking truck, tank, and motorcycle, and he's like fuck, and so he runs. They unleash the dogs on him, so he actually goes under. I don't want to ruin everything, even though this is the spoiler section, but he gets under the fucking cart and then he runs out, but the dogs get loose after him. And he sets himself on fire, and the dog's like, I'm not fucking with that guy.
That guy's crazy.
That guy's crazy. They jump into the fucking water, and they're like, we got him. He's got to come up for air. No. He could stay under there forever. He does come, but it's so quick. Actually, they just could have probably done, whoop, and god damn it, right? The sniper. But eventually they send some soldiers in after him, and the soldier jumps in the water, and you have this great underwater shot. These underwater shots are difficult, and they've done it really, really well here. And of course, he murders the motherfucker, cuts his neck, and then starts sucking the air
that's falling out of his
body.
Pretty brutal. He does it a few times.
It's fucking crazy.
So multiple soldiers.
Yeah. when they do eventually catch him, they lure him out. They attach a potato masher to his dog, and he's like, "Holy shit!" So he grabs the potato masher, he throws it away. It doesn't get super far away, so it knocks him out. They take his gold, and then they string him up, and so he's up there, and he's gyrating and stuff, and then they just kind of watch him for a few minutes, and then they walk away. And so then he uses
this legend about him that he's immortal.
He's immortal.
They say while he's hanging.
Yeah, it's like he can't die, and so then he it's really gory. There's rebar sticking out of the pole that they hung him on, and he has his foot on a little bit of a bolt, and he's able to support his weight by stabbing himself with the rebar, and then he passes out, but he's no longer being supported by his neck, and he wakes up later. And it is kind of silly, but at any
the sign starts to break, and that's how he's
a plane flies over, and then the vibrations knock over the tower, and so this is we're at the point in the movie where everything's pretty much unbelievable, and at any point in time they probably
are in fable territory kind of thing, like a storybook of a boogeyman.
Yeah.
So, so when you've accepted it, but I see how the film is. It's like, initially, they're doing realistic, somewhat of a badass. Obviously, not a single person's going to take on 4 people at once when they have their submachine guns right here. But I don't know. Who knows? You might get lucky, but you ain't getting lucky 5 times in a row. So it's somewhat, but it keeps ramping up, ramping up, and that final one where he's in a plane with no parachute.
He harnessed himself
nose down. Oh, he harnessed himself on the wall.
Oh,
and the plane is pulverized and evaporates, and he's intact, not a broken bone, nothing.
Yes.
And his gold is good.
And his gold, yeah, everything is fine.
It's not spread out all over the fucking place.
Yep.
It's in his pack, ready to go.
Yeah.
But other than that,
Totally sweet.
totally sweet because we forgave
Then
everything else.
He makes a great joke at the end.
Yeah, so he finally does. The whole time he's not talking. He's grunting, yelling, screaming in pain, in victory. But he finally does. Joe, do you remember his line?
Yes. Well, he goes to the bank and gives him everything. He's like, give me all big bills. It's a lot easier to carry.
It would be way less heavy.
Way less heavy because he was gonna the whole fucking time. Like,
And then scene.
Sisu. It's like, boy, that's a hardy man.
Yeah.
Okay? Damn, I want to be like that, and I am nowhere near that area. Yeah, I would have been killed instantly. But another good thing to talk about in the spoiler section is when we initially see this German company, there's a supply truck, and in the supply truck they have taken some prisoners, some women, and you can clearly tell guy's got his pants, he's buttoning his pants up, that they're raping them, taking advantage of them, and so this fucking sucks. It's like, damn, what's going to happen to all these Finnish women? And as they come into contact with this essentially legend, and he starts killing them. At one point, he kills the 2 soldiers that are guarding the truck with the ladies. And the ladies actually, they go from scared and having no hope to a smile because they hear all the German soldiers like, oh, fucking, what are we going to do?
Who is this guy?
You
Shut up,
fucked
he's
the wrong
nobody.
guy.
And then she kind of tells a story to scare him. That's how we learn about him. And then his partner gets killed and yanked out. And so, oh, fuck, and then he dies. And then you see, it's such a cool moment, like he comes, you can see his hand, and they're kind of like scared of him, but yet he's like this avenging angel walking in there, taking all these guns for himself to continue to use in his fucking righteous fucking quest. But then he notices all these women that they were about to reach for the guns, and he's like, they have fight in them, and they want to fight back. So he's like, and he gives them all the guns, and he had been collecting a bunch of guns, so he gives them all the fucking guns, and it's an amazing scene. And then eventually the fucking supply truck, he helps them commandeer the supply truck with some more fighting and some stabbing, stabs the driver in the fucking head. And then she comes alongside him like, I was like, what are you doing? It's like, it's a fun little thing where she's all like casually driving alongside the troop transport with all of the German soldiers fully equipped. I'm like, bitch, what are you doing? And she's like, hey. And the soldier's like, what the fuck? And then right then when he's like, what the fuck? They show the back. And the back, all the flaps come up, and all the women have fucking submachine guns at goddamn 3 feet away, and they just go ba-da-da-da-da-da, and all the German soldiers, like, they don't even have a chance to react, and they're just, wah. So the women get their moment. It was fucking sweet. They actually have another moment later where, after that, he just fucking drives off because he is laser focused on getting the tank. Because the tank's like, oh, fuck this.
He's got
get
his
the
gold.
fuck out of there.
Yeah.
He's got his gold. And they want to get the fuck out of there. So he leaves the women behind. You think, oh, well, maybe, he doesn't care. Or he knows they'll take care of themselves. But later on, as he's fighting the dude, and the sniper gets left behind because he's on top of the tank, and he's like, go get him. The sniper's like, fuck. All right. He gets knocked off the tank eventually. I forgot about the motorcycle crew the whole time, right? They're seeing all these dead bodies.
Was that one of ours?
Is that Hans? Is that Franz? And then eventually, they drive up out of the smoke, and he's like about to kill the fucking sniper. And then he looks over, and they look at him, and they're like, oh, fuck, that's the, whatever the name they gave him. And he's got the machine gun there. But they're just like, oh, fuck it.
This is another part, another one of those scenes where it's like,
They fucking run away. But it's the legend of the man.
Yes.
Anyways, my headcanon, you never see this, But my headcanon is those two soldiers that ran away. It would have been nice for them to put some audio in there. I was like, because really in between the path of the soldiers running away, later on the women come and they're all walking badass, doing the badass walk through the smoke, and then because he actually doesn't kill the sniper who had been raping all the women, he has to go after the tank before it gets away because it's driving pretty fast, 40 miles an hour. And so then the women show up, and he's like, oh shit, I'd rather have the guy kill me than these women that I rape. So they take care of him.
I wish the women leave him alive, so we never actually get to see.
Brutally killed him.
Yeah, so they tie him, and so we see him at the very end.
I thought he was dead on that. So she ties him to the turret.
Yeah,
they
the
roll up to the border with Russia, and the Russians are like, what the fuck? All these women come out of the tank, and they got this guy, but he seemed to be alive.
Yeah, he's fine.
Well,
he got his ass.
They should have had that fucking turret shoved right up his ass.
Fire.
That's crazy.
I would have liked the women to have saved him from the guys on the motorcycle. I think that would have been appropriate.
Yeah, okay.
It's like takes it a step down just a little bit, and it's like, you saved us, we saved you.
The women already eliminated like probably as many people as he eliminated. Of course, there were multiple women and not just one. So some more bullets flying across. I don't know if they're excellent shots. They might have winged him from behind, but yeah. No, if they ran away and you heard the gunshots and then they came through and maybe you see the little dead bodies on the side. Yeah. You're right. Okay. What else? Just amazing. I didn't really even want to cover every single one because I don't want to spoil it for you because I know you motherfucker are watching this part without seeing it.
You better watch
it. And if you are watching this part without having seen it, you have to promise me that you're going to watch it on VOD. So, and if you already watched it on VOD or you went out and supported this film, good, because now you're a part of the few elite. Because I don't think anybody's watching this because it's hard to find. So it may not do well, but I hope this will be a underground cult hit. You know, one of those that is really good. So, it actually came out in 2002 at a film festival, and then it came out in January this year in Finland, and only just now in April in the United States. Budget, $6 million, and so far the box office before the U.S. launch is $2 million.
It should make its money back. I hope it makes its money back.
I hope it makes its money back. Anyways, that's pretty much it. Right? There was a pilot scene. So then the German pilots who helped knock down the sign, they're looking for gas. He murders both of these pilots who are like, shoot the dog, shoot him and shoot the dog. He's like, shoot the dog, because the dog is still barking. This dog, man, he fucking dodges bullets and shit. I'm glad that they didn't kill the dog. I was like, fuck.
Me too.
If they kill the dog, I'm going to be pissed. I thought for a moment there that the dog, while he was under the soldier's carriage, I thought the dog might lead away the two, dogs, and then the dog might die, saving his owner. So I'm glad that didn't happen. But come to think of it, the German Shepherds live, right? They never.
Yes.
They kind of disappear in the
movie. Because they were gonna attack him, and then he turns himself on fire. He's
the dog just
and
leave.
They just fucking take off.
So he didn't kill dogs, which is good. So
I thought he was. It's like,
he's gonna have to kill the German Shepherd. No, he'd rather light himself on fire than kill a fucking dog. Well, he's got a lake right there. He can put himself out.
Yeah, if I saw that, I was like, no, this guy's fucking crazy.
Did you see that?
I'm not gonna fucking mess with that guy. Not messing with him. Go after him. Nah, man, just kill me right now.
Are you kidding?
He lit himself on fire.
We are all already dead. The immortal Koschai. I don't know how to fucking say it. It's a Winter War that he got and nicknamed in the Winter War. No, don't steal this man's gold. So
no.
And it said previously his wife and family were killed, so he's kind of on his own, and we don't know what he's gonna do with the gold. I would have liked to have known that.
Most dangerous man. Yeah. Nothing left to live for.
Yeah, I thought maybe he'd give the gold to the women or something to restart their life. Nope, that's my goal. I work hard for this fucking gold. Fuck off. So yeah,
it's
good.
fine.
I'm glad they didn't do something cheesy like that. He's like, this is mine.
Give him one rock.
Maybe one rock. All right, guys, that's it. Thank y'all so much for watching, and go out and see this one.
Yeah.
All right, bye, guys.
Bye.